Hey everybody, and welcome to today's Marvelous Designer video, in which we are going to try and explain how we can create a Chesterfield sofa type of a chair. Now, in case you have never heard of a Chesterfield type of furniture, then you've probably been lucky enough not to have to model something like that, but it actually looks something like this. So I'm pretty sure most of you have seen something like this, or at some point have had to model something like this, and you're well aware that it can be a bit of a pain to model. Here's another one. So this is basically a Chesterfield door, which is a great source for isolation, and here is another one. So let's see how we can model something like this within Marvelous Designer. So we're going to actually see how we can fake a model like this. So, alright, let's continue on here. So here's my Marvelous Designer. I want to delete everything I have here. This is basically the scene that you start with. I'm going to delete the avatar, and now we have an empty scene. So, first of all, I need something to work with. In this case, I'm going to create a rectangle. So from here on the right side, I'm just going to click, and it's going to give me the ability to input manually the size of my, the rectangle. 500 millimeters is 50 centimeters, which is actually quite a nice round number. So let's go OK. Alright, so we have it here. So what we want to do here is quite simple. We want to select this, Control C and Control V. That's going to copy it. And now once you move it, hold down Shift. That is going to constrain it to the axis, so it's going to be underneath it. So once here, select it, copy C, copy V. Now go to the other side, Control V again, off to the other side. What we basically want to do is make the base for a cube, a 3D cube. So we need two more sides over here. So Control V again, here, and Control C, Control V one more time. There we go. Now all of them are on the same axis, so we just need to put them in line now. So I'm going to select this one, rotate it around and move it inwards. Rotate this one as well, move it inwards. Select this one, rotate it 180, and move it downwards like this. Move both of these inwards like this. So basically like a 3D box. We're just trying to get them in place. Alright. The other way that I probably could have done this is if I actually imported a cube or a box from either a Max or some other software, and then used that as an avatar. But I'm going to show you this way on how to do it without having an actual avatar. So now once we have all of these done, what we want to do here is go with the segment sewing and connect them together. Make sure that when you're sewing them together, they don't have intertwined sewing, because if you go like this, it looks okay. But if you do this, you're going to see that now that all of the stitches are intertwined, which is going to cause some problems. So make sure while you're doing it, all of the stitches are actually straight. So continue doing it like that. Continue all of those like that. And now we want to connect both of these to the sides. Alright, you can see that they're still straight. This one goes with that one, still straight. That one is straight. And the only thing that's left is the bottom one with this one. Okay, awesome. Now before we simulate this, I'm going to select the top one, right click and freeze it. So that is going to make sure that when everything starts simulating, this is going to stay in position. So here it is, just press space, it's going to start simulating, and now we get this. Now we can right click and unfreeze, and all of it is going to come crashing down on the ground like a pile of cloth. Alright, so once we have this, select all of them. So select all the patterns, and on the side where we have pressure, put in a value. We can try with a 5, and right away we can see that it starts inflating just like a balloon. Let's give it a bit of time so it can settle into position. We can even try to give it a bit more. So that's with a 7. Yeah, it's settling quite well into position. So now what I want to do is, first of all, I'm going to get near the bottom, and as you can see here, I have my ends that are kind of folding in inwards. Not a big deal. It's going to be fixed up easily. Just click and pull it outwards. It's not a big deal, like I said, but I simply don't want to look at it that way. Alright, so everything is fine. Select all of them, right click and freeze. Alright, we have this, which is frozen, and it's no longer simulating. So now first of all, let's take a look at our reference image. As we can see, we have these holes in the middle, and we have these lines that are connecting those holes. They're basically the places in which you go ahead and sew up these pieces of leather, so they can be, well, they can look like they do in the final product. So what we need to do here is, first of all, we need to select one of our sides. I'm gonna go ahead, right click and unfreeze this one so we can work on it. So now we need to put some kind of a pattern, and that pattern is going to be, well, depending on how many holes we want to have on our side. For example, if you want to have just 3 holes, we're going to have to separate this in some kind of a logical manner. So the easiest way to do it is select one of the sides, right click and go split. Once you're here, it's going to give you the option to make it or split it into 2 lines, where you can get the ratio of where the one is going to be and where the other one. You can split it by length, or you can uniform split it. Because we need to have 3 pieces or 3 uniform sides, we're gonna go with 3. So click OK, select this one on the other side, again split, uniform split, 3. And now what we want to do here is extend these lines. So the way to do it is, I'm going to go over to internal polygon line over here. I'm going to click on one of these, guys, hold down shift, so it's going to go at a straight line down to the bottom, and double click. Again, click, hold down shift, click one more time to finish up the line, click, drag, double click, click, hold down shift, double click. Alright, awesome. So we have these lines, as you can see on the side over here. Now these are great for 2 reasons. First of all, it's giving you a logical place where you should put those holes. The second thing is that you can utilize these lines to get folds. Now let's see how we're going to do the first thing, and then I'm going to show you how to utilize the lines to get folds. So in order to get those holes or those indentations like all the Chesterfields have, we're gonna hold down W and click on where all of those lines are intersecting. By holding down W, you're basically putting down pins. So now I have the option to go ahead and select, hold down Shift, and multiple select all of those pins. So now when I click, I can actually move those. So if I start simulating, I'm going to see that once I start moving these, I'm actually getting that result that I have seen like with the Chesterfields. So we have those holes, but now we are still missing these lines, the ones that are going across it. So that is where having these lines can really come handy. So go ahead and select all of those lines. So just the middle lines. And on the side, you're gonna see here something called fold strength, and underneath you have a fold angle. By default, the fold angle is set at 180. You want to increase it up to like 360, and increase the fold strength up to like, let's say 30. And now, once I start simulating, you're gonna notice that these are actually, these lines are making indentations into the model, as you can see over here. So now I'm gonna select these lines again, all of them, by holding down Shift. I'm gonna press Control C and Control V to duplicate them. Hold down Shift and move them downwards to the other pattern on this side. So I'm gonna select this one and freeze it. Select the top one and unfreeze. Now, since these have been copied from the previous pattern, once I simulate this, you're gonna see that right away I got those indentations into our new piece over here. So all I have to do here is again hold down W, put in the pins, let go of the W, select the pins, hold down Shift, click, and now simply with the move tool, move them inwards up to the point at which you feel comfortable having the depth of those holes. So now again, let's do the same thing again for the rest of these guys. So in case you already know how to do this, or you don't want to watch me do this to all of these pieces, feel free and skip up front. But I actually really don't like skipping stuff and then showing you how it looks like once it's done. So I'm gonna unfreeze this again, but in reality I'm just gonna do the same thing again, so you're not missing out on anything new. So it's just me pulling and well, there we go. There we go. And you more or less want to make sure that you have the same depth as you have on this side. So go on the side like this, pull it inwards. Yeah, it looks okay. Alright, so now we just need to add it on 2 more sides. You can feel free and go ahead and add this to the bottom as well, but since we won't be seeing the bottom, I'm basically just gonna leave it flat. So unfreeze again. Alright, awesome. Click, click. Select them all. Move it. Alright, this. Move it inwards till we get it to a point where we like it. And we only have one more side to add this. And we will have our first iteration, or the first type of Chesterfield sofa done. So let's do it. Alright, awesome. So hold on W, put it inwards, select them all, move and go, pull in. Alright, so this is what we have, and the reason why my camera just kind of flickered out is that simply Marvel's designer decided to crash on me. So here we are again. Alright, so basically this is what we had before NB decided to crash, which is a nice looking sofa, but we can go one step further and give this a more wrinkly cloth type of look. That is actually a very easy thing to do. All you have to do is select the edge over here and on the side where it says elastic off, click on on, and you're gonna notice one thing right away. It's that side up here just got more wrinkly. So again, just select all of the edges, click on the elastic. Let's make sure just selecting the right ones. All right, awesome. Put it this one, elastic on. Great. Okay, so this side, elastic on. Well, basically just go ahead and do the same thing on all of the sides that we have here. So we just want to keep it confined to the sides and not the actual shapes that we have in here or inside. So just the sides. That should give us an interesting end result. So elastic on. And we have this bouncy looking model. Alright, so now here's another thing that I want to make sure that you guys check out, is that when you have everything put in like this, check the particle distance, because by 20 we have just a tiny amount of polygons in which we can work. If we put it down to 10, we have more geometry, which in turn means that we're going to get to play around with more wrinkles and have a more interesting end result, which is going to give you a more baggy look on your model. Alright, so here's another thing that's worth mentioning. For example, if I press Alt and 4, it's going to give me a wire frame of my model, and as you can see, it's triangulated. So for any reason, if this is an issue for you, which I don't think it should be, because even though it's triangulated, Marvel's Designer unwraps all its models, so you're gonna have a nice UVW map. For some reason, if you choose to have or if you choose to want to have quads instead of triangles, you can go over to 3D Garment, and from here you can simply quadrangulate your model. This is basically going to do some calculations, and in a second it's going to blur out new geometry. As you can see, now it's with quads. It's not perfect quads, but still quads. There we go. And with this, we can basically call our fake Chesterfield sofa finished. So if you guys enjoyed watching this video, then don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, as it really does help a lot. And that would be it for this video. I hope you guys had fun, you managed to learn something new. So take care for now, and I will see you all in the next video.